Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it is time for a full body workout. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below and drop me a comment, I would appreciate it so much. So let's get over into the training. Doing what I've been doing, right? We came in, we did the pause squat. So what I'm trying to do here, I feel like looking at the footage now, maybe the first rep wasn't a big pause. But what I'm trying to do, rather than hit those, 6, 7 reps, trying to go for rep PRs with the 405, I'm like, look, let's just high bar it. I know that some of those reps have been skirting depth a little bit when I go for 7. So I'm like, let's just get good at pauses. I just want to work with pause work with 405 and build that up to where we know we're going deep. We're briefly pausing at the bottom and build that up from there. And keep in mind, we're doing all the sled work, which really helps build my quads. And I think some of the angles we see from some of that, my quads, I feel like my quads are growing. They look like they're growing in the mirror. They're bigger, just in general. That's all working. So what I'm also going to do, we're going to focus on dips and chins for a bit. I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to train my arms just like I train my legs. People who are like, oh, you clearly, train your legs better than your arms. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to treat my arms exactly like I do my legs. I figure if a training style grows my quads massive like they are, then it should do the same for my arms. I'm going to quit bodybuilding my arms for a bit. So bench went good. They actually felt good. Instead of doing the 325 today, I went back to the 315 because I got triple with the 325. I got 4 reps and they felt clean. Now, I didn't feel like I really had a 5th rep. If I did, it would have been a hell of a grind with a risk of missing. So we went there, but it felt good. So I'm happy with where the bench is sitting. The deadlifts, the fatigue was high today. I noticed that, and I think a lot of it's just all those reverse hypers I've been doing. That just felt hard. I got to that 3rd rep, and I'm just like, man, I'm going to call it there. All right, we hit 550 for a double, then I missed it on Wednesday, right? I've been hitting 500 for 6 on some of the days. It was a case of, I felt the fatigue on the deadlift. I'm like, let's just end the hard training week there. That's still a good quality work set. I'm going to call it. Just going to stop right there and be done with it. Then we get over to dips next. I feel like at this point, with all the other pressing I'm doing, because I am working overhead press, I did all that really high rep overhead press on the GPP day with the kettlebell, and I have a lot left for it. Dips, let's just do dips. Dips are good at it. When my triceps have always been at their biggest in the past, I was mostly doing dips and or closed grip benching, but dips have always played a role. So I'm like, let's just push dips. They increase my bench. I like them. They feel good. So I got 10 reps on both sets. These are going as deep as I can on these. So going, not starting from the bottom though, that's harder. I lose reps if I start from the bottom at the very beginning. But let's just go into a deep stretch. Focus on quality reps. Take them to where the last rep feels kind of grindy. So that's exactly what I do for my legs. Nothing to failure, right? The chins are pretty much taken to failure though. So let's just train them like that. A big heavy compound that we know where the triceps get worked hard. Because I feel a lot of tricep on the dip. All the research shows us the whole tricep gets worked on a dip. I'm just going to push progression on them. That's it. Same thing for the arms. Just going to push chins for a bit. And let's see if, when people say you should train your arms just like your legs, because they're not understanding, they're thinking I'm not doing tons of curls and stuff. I actually do. I do ridiculous amounts of curls to failure. So the chins, I'm like, let's just take the slightly closer grip, because we know this hits biceps really hard for me. All right. Do the sets as many reps as I can. All right. So I ended up getting 7. And then right there, it just stuck at the bottom. Without cheating and swinging, I didn't have another rep. I'm just going to drop into what me is for a full hang. And people can argue all they want. Well, for me, that's a dead hang. You guys see me starting them from the bottom. So, right? And I'll do more of them where I come over and just pull it up. But then we drop into a hang. And then we chin up. Okay? So I'm just going to do weighted chins. My back is good. So even if we would argue that I get a little more out of a pull-up for my lats in this, I'm doing rep work with heavy deads. I'm doing still a pull-up variation. I feel like my back will be fine. My back will be perfectly fine. Hell, if anything, it'll probably keep growing. Even though I'm doing this mainly to focus a little more on biceps, my back just responds in general, so I'll probably get there. So the overhead pressing, I just did 1 set today. I went up in the weight. As you guys know, I've had to start with the empty bar. I noticed last time when I did the 2 sets, I felt stronger and got more reps with the closer grip, but I went up in weight here. And I'm taking these through the fullest range of motion I can. So notice it's the same thing you see on the chin-ups and pull-ups. So I'm just going to sit here. I think I'm just going to sit at this weight, and I'm going to work on trying to get better at locking it. But it's always a case of, where people will say the nonsense of go lighter. And then I go to the empty bar, and they're like, go lighter. So dude, I'm doing 30 reps at the empty bar. I can't go lighter. So I'm just going to work on it. The only way the range of motion gets restored is to keep training it, keep working it, and just get strong in those positions. But I'm going to have to avoid, overuse, impingement, all that stuff. But I don't want to talk about all that today. So let's get over to, so we just did one good set because I did the 20s yesterday. I've not done that kettlebell for 20s before I did it. So I decided, because my laterals are hitting over 20 reps, I like the plates. I really like the way the plates feel. I'm like, I should, in theory, be able to get 10 or more with the 45s, right? Mathematically, no. I got like 8 reps. I didn't like the range of motion. So I'm like, they felt good, but let's just go back to the 25s. I'll just do the higher reps. I got like 22 reps here, right? So I just did the plate laterals. They feel really good. In my shoulders, I have light plates. It's be the one thing I really kind of isolate. Let's just isolate side delts a little. Now I'm doing overhead pressing and all the throws and everything, which hits all of that. But I thought, let's just come in. We'll keep isolating side delts. We'll just let the chins and the dips handle the arms. Now, granted, does the throwing, does the benching, does the overhead press still hit arms some? Yeah. But it's just, I'm just going to push dips and chins. We're going to keep the volumes reasonable. 2 sets of each 3 times a week. So about 6 total sets. Okay. About 6 total sets. And no, I didn't do the AMRAP on the bench today like I do some days. I'm still going to do that at least once a week. At least once a week, I'm going to come in and try that 225. I've hit 18 multiple times. I've built up to that. I want to get to that 20. So I decided here to do neck extensions just to make sure that we hit enough to get an appropriate length. I'm just going to re-lube it this one twice just so it's in there. But it's only one set. But I got 20 reps of this. I've been doing 15s. I just did one solid set. Let me just take it as far as I can. I got 20 reps. So overall, pretty happy with that, right? We're pretty happy with that. Calling it a week here. If I do anything tomorrow, it could be a GPP, it could be a rest day. I might get up and jog. We'll see how tomorrow pans out. But I really like that I had a good rest day on Monday. And then what happened? I hit really good deadlift after taking the whole weekend off, right? The whole weekend off. And then I hit Monday. I got really good deadlifting. And then the fatigue kind of accumulated. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.